NXT Deadline. We just had our last PLE of the year for WWE, and it was NXT Deadline. You know what Deadline is about. There's been a few of these PLEs. I still say pay-per-views. You have two Iron Survivor matches, one for the men, one for the women. We're going to talk about that, but we had some other matches involved. We had an NXT Championship match. We had Tatum Paxley going against Izzy Dane. And we had the North American champion, Ethan Page, defending his championship to go against Mr. Iguana. This is Unpopular Review. Hey, do me a favor. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button. I'm not even going to do the intro because the intro is outdated. Now is the NXT Duo. But before I pull down this lovely graphic, as we have Kalani and she's smiling at her work, and we're going to talk about one Kalani Jordan when we get to the female Iron Survivor. Let me pull the curtain back a little bit. On Tuesday, we were like, man, we're going to do a Deadline review. And as you can tell, I'm one of your hosts, the Great Grand Slam Pooba. But, Sabrina Stella said she was going to be out. I was like, okay. Mad Dog Kelly, he's no longer a part of the NXT team. He is on Friday nights with one Venomous Venny. And I was like, man, what am I going to do? I could do this show solo. And I know you guys would keep me company. And I had to dig deep and I had to dig into my pockets. And I went to my little podcast called the Big Pop Theory Podcast. And there's a guy that I work with. And he said, yeah, I'm free on a Saturday. Let's talk some NXT. I got Rich Kings. I'm going to pull this down so everyone can see your lovely face. And I want to say thank you for joining me on this Saturday. We do a lot of work on the big. I mean, we've been friends for many, many years. We go back since third grade, and we do some stuff on the Big Pop Theory Podcast. And I look forward to doing this because we don't do a show. It's just us two, so I look forward to it. But Rich Kings, I'm running my mouth here. How the heck are you?
Doing great. Great Saturday night. It's a little cold outside, but warm inside. So, doing pretty well.
It's amazing. You said it's a little cold outside. So I've been to Georgia a few times. I just didn't think Georgia could get cold. So hearing you say that, I'm amazed.
It's cold outside.
When you say cold, what are you saying? Like,
I really need a trench coat and maybe a scarf, potentially some gloves.
And a scarf and a glove. Like, what's the weather out there in Georgia? Please tell me, my friend.
You say in the 30s.
30. Wow.
Like 30s when I went outside. I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. Let me go back inside.
And New York, it gets cold out here. I mean, you've been in New York most of your life, so you understand that. And Jeffrey, he's in the chat. And he says, "What's up, y'all? What's going on, Jeffrey? It's always a pleasure to see you."
Hey, Jeffrey from Georgia too.
He moved. I want to say. I mean, Jeffrey, please elaborate here. But he was living in Georgia. I want to say up to last year. So he knows how Georgia is. He knows what that weather can be like. I was just talking to someone about Georgia, someone at my job, and I was just mentioning, like, because it's like a culture shock for me, because obviously, as you know, New York all my life. Mm-hmm. And the last time I was out there, visiting one Jean Baptiste, and I didn't know everything closed at 10 and what, 10 in the afternoon? Not in the afternoon, I'm sorry, 10 at night. I said, you close? Like, yeah, we don't keep things open after 10. I was just impressed by that. But do us a favor here. You're watching Unpopular Review. Hit that like, notification, and subscribe button. I feel like I said that, but I feel like I just got to say it again because it really helps out the brand. Rich Kings, you watched NXT Deadline. What did you think about the show in whole?
Yeah, it was a solid pay-per-view, PLE and all, right? Some great highlights, some fun matches, I thought. Some surprises. I think we're going to get into, like, what did you think was going to happen? And what I thought was going to happen did not happen. So the surprise element is always fun to see, the wrestling content. I give the pay-per-view was very, very, very enjoyable to watch for me personally. I think every match led into the next match, which is great.
You was talking about surprises, right? And one of the things I don't like, because sometimes people are like, "Oh man, I don't think predictability in wrestling is bad. I think if it's executed right, it's fine, right?" But I don't like being shocked just to be shocked. So I wanted to sit here and say some of the. I told you off air, I got only one match right. Everything else, I said, "Oh man, I got smoked completely." And I felt like these surprises, they wasn't offensive. They were like, "Oh, okay, now we got to see where this goes and stuff like that. And I look forward to talking about it. Real quick, let's get want to highlight Jeffrey. He said, I lived in Georgia, came back home a year ago. I'm back home in British Virgin Islands.
I was out there like 2 months ago on a cruise.
Of course, dude, you're always I can just this guy. Like you're always traveling. You're the traveler. Like, of course you was. He says, great PLE by NXT. They know how to put on a great show. Yeah, they do. I think they do a fantastic job on what they do on NXT. I mean, I say it a lot, and it's not me, bullshitting, but NXT is honestly my favorite show of the week. I mean, I think they just do a fantastic job on what they do and what the players that they have. But you know what? Why don't we just open up here? The show opens up with the NXT Championship. Oba Femi. Matter of fact, we have some. Hold on, let's do this. Boom. Cause we gotta give the visuals, right? But the show opens up with this match right here. We have Ricky Saints, NXT champion, going against Oba Femi. They said on NXT that these two were going to open up the show, and I'll just say off rip, I remember we did some predictions on the audio for the Big Pop Theory podcast. Shout out to one Shay Sawyer, and I said, yeah, Oba's not winning this championship back. So my thought process here, walk with me, Rich Kings. My thought process is Oba loses, and they're gonna call him up to the main roster. And my visual of him being called up, or my thought here is that he debuts at the Royal Rumble. Seemed like a great spot to be in, right? Well, Shawn Michaels said, "Shut up and let me cook." These two have a match, so. A few things. I have a few notes here. I'm going to try to sum it up as quickly as possible so we don't be here all night. But a few things here. They said the last time that they were out there, first off, they were out at Tech Point in San Diego. I mean, San Antonio. I'm sorry, San Diego. Sorry, it kind of works there. San Antonio, Texas. So this is the last time they were there. Bobby Roode defeated Nakamura for the NXT Championship. So that had to have been like 2017.
Sheesh.
I know, right? It just goes like, where does the time go? They had Ricky. He tries to do a single. I'm not gonna lie. I like Ricky Saint, but when he went for the single leg on Oba, I said, "What are you doing? Do you not see Oba? Oba's legs are like trunks, and when I say trunks, I'm talking about the elephant trunks." They also threw out here the winner will be facing Cody Rhodes at Saturday Night Main Event. They said that last night at SmackDown. So these two, the crowd split. The crowd split. They like Oba. You hear the Oba chants, but they're cheering for Ricky as well. Did you notice which one, Rich Kings? Now, we were at Stand and Deliver this year, right? And do you remember the ref who kicked Oba? That was the same ref.
Yeah, same ref, I noticed.
Yes. I saw that. I immediately laughed because I remember when we pulled the curtain back a little bit. When we went there, I remember you kind of like, yo, why did that ref kick Oba? And why did Oba allow that? So I just thought it was funny that he was in that match again and Oba didn't even think once to like swing at this guy, right? But Ricky's working on the arm and legs, trying to take away the Oba strength. I love Booker T, though. Booker T is just so good as a commentator because he'd be saying gems. Like, sometimes I just think Booker T just talks to talk and he yells, right? But there's something where, Vic Joseph, he says something like, like, I'm a fan of Ricky Saint and Ricky's done this and that. And Booker T said, it's not your job to care about Ricky Saint. Just like, what is happening here? Yes, Jeffrey, he did kick him. Rich Kings, right? Did he kick this guy?
He kicked him. I think he did not only the kick, but he just was like, "Get off me! Get off me, kid!" Like, so basically, he was counting, and Oba was pulling him out the ring, and he said, "Get off of me!
Get off me! How dare you touch me?" So a few things here. Oba, he displays his strength. Booker T, he makes a Boom Shakalaka reference, and I love that a lot. I was not good in NBA Jam, but when I heard that, I was like, I'm such a '90s kid. Ricky's pulling out some tricks out of his pocket. He does to me, it looked like it was a cutter, but it was a stunner. Oba sold it like a stunner, but it just looked like a cutter the way Ricky went for the move. And here's the part where Ricky started pulling off the DDTs. And to me, that is Oba Femi's weakness, is the DDTs. Hit him with a DDT on the steel steps. Roll him. Oba kicks out. I do want to sit here and say this because I want to wrap all this up because I have some notes, but I don't want to keep us here all night. Ricky Saint has a pretty decent spear. It's not a spear like Braun Breaker has the best spear in the I don't want to say just in the company, but in wrestling, right? But I think Ricky Saint's spear is a pretty decent one, especially for his size. And I thought it was impressive too. He went for the Ranchambeau. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing the word move, but it's the move where he lifts up his opponent like this. And Oba's a pretty big dude, so seeing Ricky do that and display some strength, I thought that was incredible. But it wasn't enough. Oba got the win. He beats Ricky Saint, and I immediately in my notes here, I put Oba regains the championship, but why? And not because I don't like Oba. I like Oba. I think Oba is such a talent that I hope they don't fuck it up when he goes to the main roster. I really, really hope they don't do that. I hope they realize what they got in him. Then they can. He could be a player. Is my point. But I was just like, what are we doing here? And I think I have some thoughts, but I'm going to give you the floor here, Rich Kings. And then we'll get into the comments here. We see you, Jeffrey. He said he was shocked. I was shocked too, but was you shocked at this outcome?
Personally, I was not surprised that Oba won, right? So for me, going back to some of the moves, like there's a couple of things that I did like when Ricky was doing those little strikes that hit him across the head. That was like, it kind of played to Oba a little bit. And then that Hurricane Rana into that spear, like you said, that spear is it's pretty awesome to see. It's like he almost goes full force, and it's a believable spear. Do I think it should be? I'm not sure, but it just was like, oh, it could have you a close fall here. And I think when I think about the whole match in totality, I was not surprised that Oba won. It's almost like when I think about Brock Lesnar back then, how many people was gonna beat Brock Lesnar more than one time? And if you're building him up to be the certain character, how many times would you beat him personally, right? So I think that when you have him as such this dominant character, and to have one person beat him twice, and this stage of the game did not make sense to me personally. So he won the match. I wasn't surprised. It was my prediction that he actually won the match. So I got one of these right so far. So I'm not disappointed in this ending. I think it made logical sense to me. But it's not that Ricky Saints can't do something else next. I mean, like I'm pretty sure he's gonna be around. But I just think that for the character's sake, it didn't make sense for him to lose.
No, I hear you. So bear with me, right, bro? Like, you know how you just mentioned, like, because you're right. There's like a small, not the word, but small batch of people who have beaten Brock Lesnar twice, right? Like, Goldberg, Kurt Angle, and there's one more person, and I forget who it is. But there's a small thing. So you know how you said that? So my mindset was thinking about with Tony D'Angelo because he beat Oba twice.
Right.
For the North American Championship. Beat him for the North American Championship, and then he beat him again to retain. So my thought process is that. But like, no, shout out to you for being like, like this is why I say the smartest guy in the room. I mean, it's not just a gimmick. I mean, I'm here too. I mean, I have to always plug myself in here. But he says it's the Rochambeau. Thank you, Jeffrey. He also said he was shocked. He says Cody is going to get hurt and Oba should get put over but I don't think they're going to do that though. I don't think we're going to get a winner though.
Yeah, that's why I think when you think about when you advertise a match with Saturday Night's main event, right? And I know we talked about this on the podcast a little bit. Like, okay, John Cena's opening a match, but then what? What do you have for later on? And this is like, okay, this is your future coming up. So I think this gets a little bit more eyes from the NXT crowd and the typical wrestling crowd, like Cody versus somebody that's up and coming. Now, Cody versus Saints, does that really like, oh, let me see this? Maybe not. But Oba versus Cody, like, and I think Cody should lose. I honestly think he should lose. But will he lose? I don't think he will lose. I think he should, but I don't think he will.
No, and I agree with that. I mean, because like Cody's a made man. I mean, it would be something amazing. And I hear what you're saying. I think if it was either one of these guys in this position, it would have been great for either one. So like I'm cool with it being over. But if it was Ricky as well, it would have been cool because I feel like my thought process, right? Not everyone watches NXT. I watch it. I know these people, but not everyone do. So if you have someone like a Ricky and Oba and they go in there and they have a hell of a performance there, And that audience who don't watch NXT, you might be like, yo, this is something about this guy. I need to watch this Tuesday show. So I think it's a brilliant way of maybe even
showcasing the brand. Now, let me ask you this:
yes.
did Cody and Ricky go against each other in AEW? So
I can't say that they have.
yeah, so I don't know. I said that could be another thing too. But if you ask me as a wrestling fan, would I rather see Ricky versus? If let's say if it was either champion, I'd rather see Punk versus Ricky than Cody versus Ricky, because then I'm like Cody's gonna win. But with this, I still think Cody's gonna win, but it's more a little bit. It's not gonna be as sound or clean as I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, no, I think you're on the money here because I think a lot of people I've hearing a lot of people here, but Jeffrey, I mean, it pretty much to what you was saying, not all the way over, but I think Drew is going to distract Cody in some way. I think that he does interfere in it. I think what they're going to do is have this match. It's going to be a hell of a showing, but to protect both champions, which I don't think you have to always do that. I think it's fine if you have. Now, I think like I'm with you. Cody should take the L, and it'll be fine. But I don't think they're going to go in that direction. So we got that. So, but this was a fine match. I thought it was fine. It just shocked the hell out of me. Matter of fact, it came out. It made the coming up with the caption for this episode easy. Oba's champion again.
Yeah, simple.
We got straight to the point, right, bro? We got Soruka and Zoria. They have a chat. Both apologize to each other. I just said, just hug each other and get it over with, man. Like. Did you see Tuesday? This past Tuesday's Soruka. I mean,
with the spear situation.
Yeah. She speared the hell out of this girl. And we're gonna talk about Kendall Gray. And I'm interested in hearing your thoughts about the Iron Survivor. I'm gonna actually give you the floor here first, but real quick, there was another segment. Hank and Tank. They took a. You know, I would love to visit Japan. Have you ever had any interest in visiting Japan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe we can make that a bucket list.
I think it is, but yeah. So you can't eat in public though.
Oh, I can't go there. I love food.
You can eat in public.
Why? Why is that a thing?
It's so clean and so green, and I had one of my other friends went down there, and he like opened up like a pastry, and they. It's like a scene from like Family Guy. Ever just stopped and looked like, "What are you doing?" Everybody's so uniform and like straight to the point. Like everybody's in a single file line going somewhere. It's. I don't think we'll survive.
So we probably shouldn't do this. Okay, I'm down. I'm down for a trip, bro. Like maybe we can make that a thing. But like when you said you can't even, because I love food. Like I really love. I went to his gathering at for a friend, and I had the nerve to have oxtail and goat at the same time. I don't think you're supposed to do that, but I did it. And it was good, and I had salmon on the side.
I'm glad you like the pairing of the mixed curry goat and the oxtail and.
Well, I'm more of a curry goat guy, but like oxtails is dope. I like oxtails, but I'm more of a curry goat guy personally.
Yes.
See, he gets it. This is why we're related. But Hank and Tank and what Jeffrey said, get ready for a long flight. Yeah, 13 hours. I don't think I've been on a plane longer than maybe 2-3 hours. Maybe is the top. So 13 hours seem a bit much for me. But they go to Noah. How? Say that one more time, bro.
They feed you in that plane though. You got a lot of them.
There you go. See, and you know what? Once again, you know why I like that? Because I love food. So if you give me food, matter of fact, maybe for next year for the big pop, we can add some other content like food content because I love food. Jeffrey says he loves oxtail. Oxtail's dope. I like oxtail, but it's something about curry goat and white rice. I just feel like it's just the best tag team. Just right now. Like right now I want some curry goat, but like I'm not gonna do that. But they have this long flight. They won the Noah Tag Team Championships, and I mean this stuff was just a bit. It was just to let you know that Hank and Tank will be back this Tuesday. Are you a fan of
No.
Hank and Tank? Yeah. Okay, so Rich Kings for conversation. We were at Stand and Deliver. Hank and Tank beat at Fraxium. Your reaction was?
Why?
Okay, there we go. He was not a fan of her. Hank and Tank, they're a fun tag team, but they're not on top of my. not on top of the list for me. I'm hoping in 2026, OTM. I'm hoping that they. Yes, he said you very quick. I didn't even finish my sentence. Bro said absolutely not. And he said, "We love food here." Yes, food is great. I love food. It's fantastic. I have some noodles, whatever, getting ready to. I'm throwing it out, and after the show, I'm gonna heat it up because I'm gonna eat. Um, but yeah, just to say, the segment was pretty much just for Hank and Tank to say that they're gonna be back on Tuesday after their excursion at Japan. Match number 2, we had the Women's Iron Survivor here. Let's make sure we get the picture here. We got look at this lineup of talent right here. We have Kendall Gray, Lola Vice, Jordan Grace, Kalani Jordan, and Soruka. Just in case you guys don't know what the rules are, but we'll read them right here as I deal with these hiccups. Apologies here. It's a 25-minute time is a 25-minute time limit where 5 superstars competing to become the number 1 contender. 2 superstars start the match. Every 5 minutes thereafter, a new superstar will enter until all competitors are in the ring. Falls can be won at any time via pinfall, submission, or disqualification. I feel like there was no disqualification. I feel like everyone was doing what they want. I didn't even know you could get disqualified. When a superstar score a fall, they will earn 1 point. When a superstar loses a fall, that superstar is forced out of the ring and into the penalty box for 90 seconds before he or she can re-enter the match. The superstar who has scored the most falls when the clock hits 25 minutes will be named the Iron Survivor and number 1 contender for either the NXT Women's Championship or the NXT Championship. Rich Kings, I'm going to give you the floor here first, sir. You see this talent here. You see all this talented women here.
Yeah.
What did you think about this match?
I think it was a very, 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 very solid and great match, to be honest with you. Personally, I had Kalani Jordan win this match. First of all, I think she still should be the TNA Knockout Champion. I'm not a fan of her not with that belt anymore. I think she brought great presence. I know we talked about TNA and all of that. And I think about TNA, and I thought I'd see Kalani Jordan. I'm like, what are y'all doing? So, so having her, Kendall Gray, with the match at the beginning and, her taking that first fall with that power was not too happy. But she redeemed herself, right? She got that pin after and was able to, send another person back in the penalty box. But that's the beginning highlights for me in the beginning of the match. Like, for me personally, I had Kalani winning this match, even though I wasn't sad that she lost because just the array of talent, right? You have so much talent and up and rising talent that's in the match. It's like flip coin, whoever wins. Like, as long as it's not Jordani Grace right now for me, like just right now, I didn't want to see her win this match personally. That's just a personal thing. But the others, like, it just didn't matter. The double snatcher, and my thing is this: to get pick up 2 wins, 10 cents. I'm looking around like Lola Vice, and we're gonna talk about in-ring presence and awareness in the men's, right? Because every time he on the move, he rolled out there, like it's time to go. But Lola just sat there, like, yeah, pin me next. So, and I'm a Lola Vice fan. Like, she picked up
you like Lola Vice?
I do like Lola. And she picked up a W right before Soruka, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, it was anybody's game, and when she got those 2, I was like, oh my. She might be the one to win. But Kendall Gray, I think, it was not saying that she was the star of the match personally, but I think that it was the right decision for her to win. I think for her to come on top, she's done enough. I think the match was solid for her. You saw enough of her to be like, if I was my first time watching NXT and watching her, I would have been like, oh, good decision. If I didn't know anything about it, right? So sure. I really appreciate the match. I think the woman just put on a great performance. I only talked about the things in this match, but all in all, this is a match that I could watch again tonight before I fall asleep and be like, wow, this is still a great match.
Now you got me. I might have to watch it back with you, bro. I thought these women killed it. It really did. I think they did it. A few of the highlights here. It's hard because, like, I wanted to sum it up because, you write these things, but there's a lot of great spots here. Matter of fact, there was a really great spot where, just one of the spots here, if I could throw it out here, where, I'm going to make sure I got this right. Yeah, because it was a cool spot where Kendo and Lola, they had Kalani, and they were doing like this, like with the rope,
Mm-hmm.
but she landed on her feet and then she hit like this double Pele. I said, oh, that was so fucking cool, man. I
It's
mean, these
great.
women was out here, but one of the things I love, so I had Lola Vice winning this, and clearly I was wrong. But
Oof.
I love this for Kendall Gray because I didn't even think. I just said, nah, Kendall Gray's not gonna win. She's gonna have a great showing. She's gonna show what she can do. And some of the stuff that I've seen, because I don't watch Evolve, so I got more familiar with her stuff because they do throw her out there on NXT, and she's a really good wrestler. She's really good in her in ring stuff. Like she's so fucking good, man. Like
Yeah.
really, really good. And I was happy for her. Like I was like, yo, bro, I didn't pick her, but I'm happy for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I feel bad. I mean, I feel bad for her because she's gonna be JC Jane's latest victim. I don't know if you know this one, Rich Kings, but JC Jane is the greatest NXT Women's Champion of all time. And like, and JC, she just dominates people. Like I think Kendo, she's gonna do some great things, and that's cool. But JC's going to dominate her, but I'm happy for Kendo. I do want that to be clear, but it's JC, and you've seen what JC can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for all of that. It just,
You remind the audience how long has JC Jane been in NXT?
how long has she been in NXT?
Yeah.
2001, so 2, 3, 4, 5. As of now, 4 years. But I think it's time. I think in 2026 though, she will be called up. I think it's time.
I think she would be called up by that time because like if you talked about this maybe a month or two ago, right? So she
Mhm.
was a Toxic Attraction, whatever that group was, and then she's been in a couple of factions and successful at that. And I just glossed over Chase University because that wasn't really a thing to talk about.
How do you feel about Chase University? Do you hate them too? Because I hate them.
Yeah, they're not worth talking about. That's why I kind of glossed over it, but I still will mention it. But
Good
she's
job.
she's been around for a little while, and I think it's great that she finally a lot of times around for a while they either get released or they get forgotten about, right? Like remember those people with what's that lady's name? Shayna Baszler. Like what happened to them?
Oh yeah. Well, one of them is in AEW right now. She's in the
But that's
Death
not
Riders.
an NXT or the top brands. Like a lot of times when you're like the secondary person or the third person, you don't get the hype. But my point is that she's been on these groups and an afterthought, and then there she gets a chance that she proves to be wrong. So good for her.
I love that for her. I wasn't a day one JC Jane fan. I can always admit that. But as time went on, and you got to see the talent and the skills and everything, she can't be denied and whatnot. She can't. And a lot of people throw out there every chance they can. Like they're like, she's been in a lot of groups. I'm like, Randy Orton been in a lot of groups too. You know that, right? Like he was in Evolution, Legacy, The Authority. I feel like I'm missing a group.
The
I
Wyatt.
almost he was with the Wyatts. Like I'm like you can always. As a matter of fact, just to show you, like you should never give up, right? I saw it was like a reel or something like that on somewhere on social media. So Oba Femi, like he's this dominant force and everything like that, right? But they were showing like all these matches where he was like he lost to Dante Chase, Von Wagner. There's a bunch of other people that he lost to, and you wouldn't like. I don't remember any of that stuff. To me, this was like a fresh slate when he was in the breakout tournament, and you see all this, and now look where he's at right now. So I sit here and say you should always better yourself, believe in yourself, and I think people like Oba Femi and JC Jane prove that you can get to the top if you just you keep getting those reps and everything like that. So I love that. I love that JC's having this moment, and I hope that she does get called up, and I hope that if she gets called up, she doesn't have to be the women's champion. You have two mid card champions, and I think that Intercontinental Championship will look very good around her waist. I've always just personally believed that. Hold on, real quick before we get to that, we got Kendall Gray hasn't been seen by much. She's getting eyes on NXT and involved, and I love that for her. I mean, I think that she's very, very talented, very, very talented. I think the one thing that's lacking with her is character, but the in-ring stuff is there. But the beauty about wrestling is you can find, if that's a weakness, pairing her with Ren was a smart move because Ren has that personality, and I think that's one of my favorite wrestling documentaries was. Well, not even was, it still is, the ECW, Rise and Fall of ECW. And Paul Heyman would talk about, oh, this guy was good, but he was good at this thing, but this was a weakness, but they found a way to shield it. And that's what you're supposed to do. So I think they did a great job pairing the two. Jeffrey also says, JC been NXT stable for a long time. She has been there for a while. Didn't New Day make a joke about Randy being exactly like there's been wrestlers and been in a lot of groups. X-Pac has literally been part of both NW and DX. Like, that's ridiculous. And Shawn Michaels too, but Shawn Michaels kind of don't count because it was the WWE version, but you get what I'm getting at here. But to get to this match, I love this for Kendall Gray. Let's talk about this next segment here. We had Blake Monroe. How do you feel about Blake Monroe, Rich King? Because like I know you watch wrestling enough, but like I don't think we ever have like chatter about NXT a lot. So how do you feel about her character, or just her in general?
I think she's a solid wrestler, right? I think that she's right where she needs to be right now at NXT. I don't think that she should have got pushed straight to the championship right away. Personally, for me, I think like for her, she needs to build up a character and just. I hate these open challenges. I can't stand them. It just lacks. I that's me personally. I just feel like where's a feud, where's a back and forth, and these to me when I see an open challenge, it seems like that person was. I put it this way: when's the last time somebody had an open challenge and they lost the belt within the first or third or fourth title defense? It just shows this person to have that belt for a while. So that's my opinion.
So. Okay, so let me ask you on. I don't know how much because I'll be honest. Like I can miss SmackDown because SmackDown's that's not a hot show for me to watch. But I get to sometime if I'm home I'll watch it, or sometime I just get the results and everything. But Illinois Dragunov, how do you feel about? Do you have any feelings about him being his open challenge?
I just don't like the open challenge in general.
Oh, you just don't like it in general.
Okay. I just don't like it. It doesn't matter. I mean, The Rock have an open challenge. Oh, I just hate it.
Do you feel like it's a tiring trope and it should be retired?
It is. This should be stopped. This should be stopped immediately. To me, there's no real feud there. You have this belt. Like, what are we doing? And the only reason why there's some interest is it because the title's on the line. Like, it's lazy.
What would be? Do you have anything that you would have done? I know I'm asking a random question, but would there been anything that you would have done different
with the open challenge?
Yeah, like if there's no open challenge, because I do like when the championship is defended, because I feel like a lot of times it's not defended enough. So do you have like a counter for that? Like, okay, let's remove this, but let's use this.
Well, you can go back and have a feud with a person for a month at a time or a month and a half at a time and keep it moving. I get that not everybody's going to get a title defense, but if I were to ask you who had the title defense against one of these wrestlers 2 weeks ago, can you tell me the name? So it's just as lackluster as maybe a feud can potentially be.
Okay, fair enough. We had a backstage segment with Miles. He decided to pick number 3 to come out with, and we had a Jordan on Jordan crime here because Jordan Grace and Kalani Jordan, they were still fighting, and they're going to have a match this Tuesday. So the feud is going to go. And I also want to throw out here, I know that you said the championship looked really good on Kalani Jordan, and it did. It really did. But you know who else that Knockouts championship looked good on?
Probably going to say JC Jane, right?
I'm glad that you beat me to the joke. Yes. We got match number 3. I just want you to know, when I do the NXT show, it's just completely JC Jane. JC Jane is never wrong. We have match number 3. We had North American champion Ethan Page going against Mr. Warner. I am so interested in hearing your thoughts about this. Mr. Warner, he is from AAA. I'm only laughing because Booker T, he goes off into a rant, and he said, yeah, take that Raw, SmackDown, AAA, Indies, ABC. He said Telemundo. I was like, what is this man talking about? Like, I don't know if you like Booker T. I feel like we have chatted about Booker T, but Booker T is just so funny. Like, I'd be like, what is Booker T? Because even when he says, here we go, I'm like, where are we going, Book? I always ask, and Booker T is hilarious. Go ahead.
I know you like it, but it gets tiring. Oh my, like, oh yeah, and yeah, that's what I'm talking. I'm like, what the hell? It's a lot. It's overwhelming. But you know, I did have to watch when I was watching. We talked about the podcast where we did, right? So TNA, and I did watch
Sure.
you telling me about Booker T was pretty much beating up James Bull, and I think
No, it was Xavier. It was Xavier Woods. Yeah.
and he was just talking to Mike. Booker T would have stopped. Now that stuff is good, but him like the outburst, maybe I'm not a big outburst person because I don't like that. Cause you ever been? You know what it reminds you of? You ever been in like, say me, you were just having a conversation, and somebody just comes out of nowhere and sings a song, and we're like, "What the hell?"
I would hate that so much.
But that's what Booker T does. It's like, here's Vic Joseph talking, you're in a match, and yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, like no, that's not what I want to hear right now. But yes.
Well, if I can tell you, I have a one-sided feud with Vic Joseph because he has two first names. I just don't understand why this man decided to take two first names. But I love that you was a part of this. Like you was like greedy. How do you feel about I'm not sure how familiar you are. Like Mr. Gawana, I got more familiar with because they have that partnership with AAA and you get to see a little bit more of him. But like how did you I don't know, do you have any feeling towards this Mr. Gawana?
So I first saw obviously with AAA where they did their version of a Royal Rumble, and him and Finn Balor had that little thing, and they followed into Raw. So that's as much as I know about him. But I think Balor was like, that was what was it? What did JBL call him?
Oh, Dominito, the puppet,
Yeah.
Dominito.
Yeah.
And JBL was good too because it's Dominito. The way he was hyping it up, I was like, yeah, you get hyped with it too. Yeah, JBL was good.
But that's what I know about Mr. Iguana. So him having a match with Ethan Page, I think, just more what I could see out of Ethan Page, and just an amazing wrestler, right? So I think he has a great character. He obviously knows how to work in the ring, and it shows that he can work in the ring with multiple different talents. So I think the right move was Ethan Page to win this match, and I did get that one right. I hope
that's the only one I got right.
But like, Ethan Page just shows so much character in the match. So I think my biggest takeaway from the match is that he's just a charisma forward wrestler that can wrestle and could also talk on the mic, and he could just do it all. He's just the total package, right? So he is the instant classic. Forget Christian Cage. So he
that was good. That was damn good. Yeah.
He just recreated the match to make it more enjoyable. I think he's the kind of wrestler that definitely has a future side business. But for me personally, the match is solid. But I felt like Ethan Page really carried and made the match more for me personally. I was watching this match. What about you?
Yeah, no, I can agree to that. So, I've been warming up to Ethan. Like, he was with AEW. They didn't do anything with him. I just didn't see a lot of him. But since he's been in NXT, I feel like it's definitely it's been a year. I want to say, but I almost feel like it's 2. But forgive me because everything just collides together for me. But like he is. Matter of fact, there was something in the match. Something happened. And he said, "I'm not having a good time," and I was like, "That's so relatable." And no, Ethan is really good. Like it's almost like he knows what the camera is, and he'll say something just so it can grab your attention. Mr. Gawana, he's not terrible in the ring, but Ethan was definitely more of the ring general. Yeah. And Ethan getting the win. So it wasn't a bad match. I don't think it was a bad match. I mean, the right person won. And Ethan Page is somebody I can personally see being called up in 2020. Like, I've had this conversation lately because, it's the end of the year. And it's like, what does 2026 NXT look like? Because I do see some call-ups, and you do got to call some of these people up. And I think Ethan Page is one of them you call up. Where would I put him? Definitely on the opposite brand of The Miz. I think that's someone you call up. And when do you call him up? I say 2026. I just don't have a time period though. Like Oba for me was going to be Rumble. Ethan could have been maybe after thought process anyway. After Mania.
So yeah, I think between Mania and SummerSlam, and for me personally, I would put him against someone like Finn Balor. I think those.
Why Finn though? I'm interested. Why Finn?
Finn is to me when he wrestles, and I think by this time they'll be over. Finn's will be doing his own thing. I think a Finn versus Ethan Page match to start his career off on a Raw or a SmackDown, wherever they're at, I think would be a great wrestling partner. I think when you call somebody up, you have to find the right dance partner to make them look good in the beginning. And Finn Balor, he knows how to wrestle. And if I think somebody help put somebody over or put somebody get eyes on that person, would be Finn Balor for me. If I'm directing it for me personally, there's obviously more talent you could pick out there, but that's just my number one choice.
I don't mind that, but I guess I would sit here and say if you're doing that, because I feel like when you're debuting and stuff, you have to win, right? So you wouldn't be opposed to even going over a Finn.
It could be either or. I think what gravitates the eyes of the wrestling fans, how did you look, right? Did you look sloppy? Did you look good? Did you look bad? Like he could lose his first match and come back and win the next three. Like you think of somebody like Rusev, he won most of his matches until you lost to Dominant. What did that do for the fans? Absolutely nothing. So like you could have useless wins and it won't do nothing for you, but it's how the crowd takes into you.
I do think it's how like the performance and how the crowd and everything like that. And I think he's someone who can totally get over just because of his mic work alone. And I mean his in-ring stuff is pretty good too, but he's definitely, I don't want to say he's more character, because there's certain wrestlers you can see and they're more character than their character gets over more than their in-ring stuff, right? But I think he's just fine. And I think also too, this is a fair. Have you seen a little bit of this pairing here with him and Chelsea?
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
I think that's a
they play each other, so it makes it good.
No, they do, and I think that's a great entry to like if you're bringing them up, like you have like that open door in a way. And you can bring him up in like that. Because I think even, I mean, you bring him up. I mean, look, I don't hate WWE, right? Like, there's things that can be totally better, and I think they could get a shot of new blood with some talent. I think even as somebody who can, but I guess in my I guess I sit here and say all this to say like, you know, you can have him up there, but if you don't know what you're doing with him, then just keep him down. Just don't even bother. Like, don't. Matter of fact, that was something.
Beating on there.
Oh, please.
No, I say there's nothing wrong with NXT for longer. That's all I'm saying.
No, and I agree with that. You know, matter of fact, when we were talking about Oba, I remember I feel like I text this to you and stuff like that. Because I feel like my memory is deteriorating. But I remember just being like, if they don't have anything for Oba, then yeah, just keep him in NXT. Like, because don't waste anyone's time. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Don't waste anyone's time because you have so much potential down there, and they can really be players, game changers. But if you fuck that up, you know, then it's a waste of my time, your time, and the writer's time. So let's get into this next thing. We have Kendall Gray. She's interviewed. She's pumped that she won. So Ruka ruins this moment here, and it says she probably would have won if she didn't have a bum knee and she had more time, because if you remember in this pay-per-view, PLE, she was taken out a little bit earlier because one, Kalani Jordan kicked her in the knee. Because, you know, so Ruka has a bum knee. Yeah, she's a heel. Ren speaks up and said, like, well, not for nothing, your friend speared my friend. And then, so Ruka is like, yo, I know that was like a bad decision and all that stuff, but like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna still speak up for my friend and everything, and said, like, we'll handle this. And Ren is like, well, what does that even mean? So we got this going on here. The next match here that we got here. No, Mad Dog don't work on NXT here anymore. He's a SmackDown guy. MDB. I got my best friend, Rich Kings, with me, the guy that helps me with pops and keep everything and structured, keep staying structured. I feel like I fucked up that whole sentence. But we have match 4 here, and I'm going to give you the floor here, Rich Kings. We have Tatum Paxley going against Izzy Dame. Yeah, Rich Kings, I want you to ask me, what do I call Tatum Paxley?
What do you call her?
Terrible Tatum, because she robbed JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. JC Jane would have held the title. I don't know. I think it was like 384 days. I don't know. I lost count. She held it for so long. And Tatum robbed her in broad daylight. Robbed in broad daylight. Rich Kings, do you think that's a terrible thing to be robbed in broad daylight?
Yeah.
I think it's terrible. Matter of fact, I don't think it was even 300 days. It was between 200 and like 1,080 days. I don't know. I can't pick the number, but it was a lot of numbers, but it was terrible. But what did you think about this matchup? But terrible Tatum going against the incredible Izzy, because I love Izzy. Izzy is fan. She won me over. They were out here in New York, and I cheered. And I said, I like you, Izzy. But Rich Kings, I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot.
You're so excited. I know why you're excited. Tell me, how about you? Why did you enjoy this match?
Because terrible Tatum lost. But no, honestly, I'll be honest here. The match started off very, very slow. I know it was like storytelling here, right? So, you have Tatum come out, and I'm not gonna lie, you see the tears and everything like that. Because, hold on, let me see if I got what Booker T said. You know what? I gotta highlight this here. MDB, I'm glad that you're here. He said, "Orange, you're still in your orange hair." Yes, I can't just keep dyeing my hair, because if I do it, then I'll be part of the Paul Syndicate. And then MDB says, "Rich King, I'm sorry, but you got instant heat with me," because he's a Mad Dog fan. But let me tell you something. Rich King here is very informative, and he will tell you. See, Rich King is laughing at that because he knows how to handle this. But there was a part here in the match where Vic Joseph says Tatum was used, and Booker T pretty much says, "Who cares?" I know you don't like Booker T, but Booker T was it just felt like Booker T. I felt like Booker T was so cold. Like, I felt like he's definitely colder in the winter at this moment. The way he would be like, "Who cares? So what? Move on." But the match started off slow, but it did start to pick up a little bit. I had Tatum. I had terrible Tatum winning. And as in terrible fashion, she lost. I said, God damn, I can't get nothing right. I was just bro, like I had Tatum. I remember confident. I puffed my chest out. I was so sure. And I was wrong. But Izzy Dame gets the win here. But I mean, like I said, it started off slow, but like as it was starting to pick up a little bit, it was fine. Honestly, terrible Tatum. This is how terrible Tatum is. She has no friends. Where was the dolls? The dolls didn't come to life. Lyra Valkyria didn't come out. Sean Spears, not for nothing. Not extra Nico was there. I was impressed that he spoke. I didn't hear him, but he spoke something to Sean Spears, and I was like, yo, because honestly, he doesn't. I have nothing against Nico. He didn't do anything to me. He's not a bad individual. I don't know him personally, but he's always there. I feel like you could bring out a pet cactus and you wouldn't know the difference because he doesn't do anything. He's always just there. Like, did you see Nico? Like, he's just there. Like, I feel like if I walked outside with this, you would be like, you wouldn't know the difference because he doesn't do anything. What does Nico do? I need to ask anybody. What does Nico do? I'm asking you guys in the chat. What does Nico do? What has he done? I need answers here. He once again didn't do anything. What does he do?
The best is yet to come. We'll see something soon. I mean, he doesn't do anything now. But like to me, this match was like my least favorite match of the night, if I could say so. Like I did get this wrong as well too, so maybe that's another reason I'm like, oh. But the dolls at the end and Sean Spears and she like. That was a great way to lose, I guess, right? Like, like my loved ones are gone, so I'm gonna be distracted and boom, it's over. So I just think that the match just wasn't. It didn't live up to the rest of the matches that we saw at Deadline. Like this was to me like a filler. This could have been had on Tuesday night. This was just a waste. You could just taken this out, had a couple more ads, and then straight to the Iron Man match if that's something you want to go to. But this match. It was just a waste of time. That's actually what are your opinions first? Because me, I just didn't. I personally felt that I could have done without this match, and I get why we did this match, but no, this is not something I wanted to see.
I felt like they were trying to tell a story, It wasn't a story that I was interested in, especially the first. I don't know how long this match went. I don't have a
The first
time.
2 minutes, not it.
Yeah, because like they were hugging and then like all this stuff. I like that Izzy got the win here. I do like that. I do like that for her. But like, yeah, it took a while for it to get a little hot. And there was spots like with Tatum, and she does like the what's it called, the cemetery driver on the table and stuff. There was spots that was like, oh, that's cool, but there was spots, and it just took. I guess for me, it took a little too long because
It was not it.
she was like she was getting slapped, she wouldn't do anything, then she started laughing, and everything like that. So yeah, no, I can see what you mean by this being the weaker of all the matches on this card. Um, but I did think that there was things where stuff was getting like they were getting to I felt like they were starting to get to a gear, and I can't tell you what that gear is, 1, 2, or whatever. But it was starting to get somewhere because it was starting to do they were starting to do some other things there. Um, we got here. Nah, I'm just giving you BS. Rich, don't mind me. Yeah, no, he's a funny guy. Shout out to MDB because I don't. You're not with us on Tuesdays anymore, and I'm really heartbroken by that because I can't say MDB 999999999. I gotta add like 6 9s. Booker T can't stand Vic. LOL, damn Jeffrey, you thought I was mean for real? Nah, I know you like to rattle some feathers. They're talking here. Yeah, like he does. He's a good guy. This guy's a really really good dude. He's a. I'm gonna give you a too sweet, my guy. Gives a up right here. Nikki is just. Oh, he meant to say Nico is just extra. That's funny. That
Nikki's extra too.
Nikki is extra. Jack, you should no. I'm never cutting my hair. By the time, give it 2 years. When I do the show, my hair is gonna be right here. You're never gonna see my face again. You're never gonna see my face. When is the last time he wrestled? I couldn't tell. What does Nico do? Like, that's all I'm asking. He's always just there. He's like a door. Nico just stand there menacing. Such a SpongeBob reference. That's such a SpongeBob reference. That's an important job. To stand there menacingly? Okay. This match whack. Thank you, Charmaine. I'm sorry. I wanted to get that. We got the story isn't over between Izzy and Tatum. It's not.
Sadly.
It's not. No. Rich, you're making too much sense. Mad Dog it up a little bit. He don't know who Mad Dog is. No, Rich King, he's the smartest guy in the room. Like, I'm just here to make nonsense and noise. Rich King, he smartest guy in the room. Tatum is still very dumb. It's a still very dumb name, but it's growing on me. That's Tatum Paxley. She is crazy. We got Good Chris in the chat. What's going on, Good Chris? Jack doesn't know how to down swift. Womp womp. I don't even know what that means. Is that like a 6-7 reference? I've been going to sleep early, bro. My bad. No. Get your sleep, my guy. I want you to be well rested for whatever you're doing. I don't know what it is. If it's work, school, whatever. I want you well rested. So he too sweet me. I too sweet my people. That's right. He's a jack addict. Hi, Jeffrey. And we got Rich King doesn't know who Mad Dog is. He's the hardest working guy in the chat. Rich King worked for, I don't want to say worked for, but he's part of the Big Pop Theory podcast. He just wanted to do a favor here and join me and whatnot. So I appreciate that, Rich King. So I appreciate you, my guy. I'm going to sweet you. That's my too sweet right there. Bang. Right, that's for you. Ding dong, you're wrong, MD. What you call it? He's now on UPR MD, only Big Pop. Yes, that's right. He's with me. And we got good Chris in the chat. He says, hi, Rich Kings. And we got hi, Charmaine. Charmaine's not on the show, but you're saying hi because she was what you call it. Let's get to the next segment here. I think we're doing some good timing here, Rich Kings, because we've done shows and we were doing it for 2 hours. So I think we're doing good. We're doing pretty damn good. We got Ricky. The next segment here is Ricky is down from losing to one Oba Femi. Javon is like, yo, you the absolute one. Don't worry about it. You good. He said he's going to win. And not only is he going to win, he's not going to wait till New Year's Eve, talking about Javon, to take the championship off of Oba. And when I saw this, I said, I think right here, I was like, I think Javon is going to win this. I picked Miles Bourne, and I feel like such a fool. But we have this shallow entry. I'm gonna give you real quick. I see the chat going on here. I'm gonna give you the floor here first, but I was watching this and I have a Mr. Cat. That's your nephew, Rich Kings.
Yes.
But can I show you a picture of him watching the Shiloh Hill entry? Hey, he said yes. So this is Mr. Cat when he watched it. He had no idea what he he was watching. My son is watching this, and I could just see him just going like, "Daddy." No, he don't call me Daddy. He says, "Papa." What are we even doing? So I'm gonna give you the floor here. That is your nephew. But Rich Kings, what did you think about this? What did you think about this?
I'm not highly upset that Javon lost, but like, damn, I really saw this already with him and Oba. So I'm like, whatever. But I wanted Dion to actually win personally because I'm a Dark State fan. Like that's my group right there. So they should take over everything. The match itself was solid. I know we were going off the line, like when all 5 people are in it just takes it to a different level. But how did Javon get out that damn pod? Like,
he climbed out. He climbed out. He climbed out in the way. Yeah, he climbed out. I guess at the top he didn't have a.
I just saw him at the top. Like, what the fuck was he in there with the referee? The referee boosting him up there? Like, I want to know how the fuck he got out the fucking pod. So all I saw him at the fucking top giving my man a fucking crossbody that turned into a clothesline. I don't know what the fuck that was. So I was.
It was like a crossbody. Are you talking about when he jumped off the panty? It was like a crossbody. Yeah.
Whatever. So. Not happy about that and the antics of that piece because I thought my man had a plan and it was going to work. So I really thought he was going to take the match, and when he didn't take that match after this, I was thoroughly disappointed. The match had some high-flying moves. Leon, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, him being top 10 under 30, and he showed in this match. Like his in-ring awareness makes so much sense. They did a Doomsday device. Guess who rolls up the ring? Him. He didn't stand there and get a fucking pin. The other guy, Dion, is that move on the other person. I don't know if you remember this moment. When they gave the Doomsday device, he rolls out, he pins the other guy with this kind of power driver thing or driver, whatever it was. And when I looked around, because I thought I was going to see another Soul or Ruka thing, 2 for 1, he's out the ring. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? But those are some of the things that I appreciate in the match when I see a wrestler with high IQ in the ring do some stuff like that. Now the low light is Miles Bourne. Like, bro, like what the fuck? What? I like him, but like more to be desired. Like I felt like he had so many chances to get that second pinfall, but it never worked out. Like pull them into the middle of the ring so I'm not gonna just drag you out. Do certain things to make sure that you could just captivate that victory. He didn't do certain things. He didn't elevate his performance in a match like this, right? There wasn't that awareness that, we talk about what we're looking for. But I think everybody's match showed up as much as they can. It was a nice little 5-way tie until the last, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever that was.
Yeah. No, it was close. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that mad scramble at the end was great. But then again, like, Leon, man, you give that hurricane run outside the ring, but you're nowhere to be seen to break up this pin. Like, what happened to you? You just fell at the ring and it's over? Like, the fuck is going on here? And you know how we feel about the last minute 1, 2, 3 useless drug in the ring. Joe Henry, say his name. We said your name and you did not appear. What the fuck are you fucking doing? So when I think about the match, am I happy Javon won? Amazing, he won. At the little end with Tony, because that damn preview of him walking down the freaking thing and then coming at the end, and then party favorite confetti at the end. Like, what the fuck? What was that supposed to fucking do? Like yeah, this.
I don't know if this is a record, but I don't think I've heard anyone use fuck in like 8. Like the span that you did it was amazing. Like I think we broke a record. I think I'm gonna have to step. I'm gonna have to step my game up. I feel like I don't say fuck enough. This match. I let me get to the ending. So I was ready to text you because I know we're gonna really do the show and everything. I was gonna say like, yo, who's that? Because like in the video, it was blurry, so you
Right.
couldn't tell. And I'm like, who's that? And then you see Tony D'Angelo in the ring. And I'm like, okay. And then he just slams Siobhan, and he had the paper, and I don't know what this is going. Yeah, I don't know where this is going and all that stuff. Um, and Tony D is beating you in the beard department. Nah. You tripping, bro. Like, man, I ain't being. You have to see my beard in real life. My beard, it's majestic. I'm the majestic one here. So no, he's not. He's trying. It's good. Um, I do appreciate when someone tries, but Rich Kings have seen my beard in real life. Tell them how majestic it is.
It's so magical. The girls just fall to the floor.
Damn, that was damn good. You know what? You're hired. But yeah, I was surprised with Tony D. I don't know where this is going with Tony D because it looked like he's going to be a totally different. He's not doing the mob boss thing anymore. So I don't know what's going on, and he doesn't have his family anymore. So yeah, we got that.
It would have served a better return if he interfered in the match. Nobody's sick of interfering in matches, but this is wrestling. That's what they do. They interfere in matches. They call somebody. So for you to come in the end when the dust settle, there's no smoke, and for you to do that, and there's a stare down. Now I know we talked about earlier in the show. He's the man that beat Obi twice, right? Oba twice. We say you're coming for a third time. I don't. What are we saying here? So
So Tony D, he has a pretty interesting career in NXT, right? So North American champion. He had the Heritage Cup. He's the NXT champion. Tag team champion. The only championship he never won is the world title. But I don't see that ever being a thing. Honestly, with him, I don't either. So I don't know where this is. So I'm glad that you mentioned that up because it's like it ties everything up. It's like he's the guy who can say, "Well, I beat Oba twice. I pinned him twice. I can do it again." I don't think he needs to be the guy to do it a third time. I don't think that's the thing. So I don't know where this is going. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. But the stuff with the match, I loved what you said about Dion. We did a on the audio podcast on the Big Pop. I was talking to Shay, and she was mentioning like he has a good look and stuff like that, but the character, and I think he's someone like. There's something special about him, and maybe he doesn't have the character, right? But there's something where I'm just like, yo, I want him to like really succeed because he has a good look, and I think he has a good intensity to him. I think there's something about even when he was doing the stuff about. Do you remember when he was in NXT and he had like the glass? Yeah, he had the glasses and everything like that.
It didn't work, but I think this works a little bit more for him.
Sure.
Right? He was gonna find a niche. I don't think John Cena. Remember what John Cena was in the beginning?
I do. He wore them trunks, and he was generic as hell. But like, right, I get what you're saying. Where you can evolve, and you're absolutely right about that. Because if we can include another, these are some big names here. What was Stone Cold doing before he was Stone Cold?
What was the Rock?
Yeah,
the ring. Rocking my VR. These people, they just didn't work. And sometimes you need a refresh or a restart or something that could change your career drastically. I think for some people, it might be coming in as a bit dark side for him, right? Cody Rhodes was trying for years. Stardust, Legacy, didn't work. Came back, and now he's this god. But he went to the what's that Wakanda tree where they fall asleep and they become like this god after. I see that's what Cody Rhodes did. Like he just died and rose again, and that forbidden fruit.
Died. Just Jesus Christ.
Like the fuck. What? But back to Dion. Like I thought you should have won the match. I know you said sometimes character continue.
Yes, maybe some character, but one of the things I like about these matches, right, is that it gives an opportunity for people to have a standout. So I want to say it was the first Iron Survivor match, and I'll pull the curtain back a little bit. So years ago, when it was the first one, I was making my way home from a gathering, and I missed that first. The women opened the show. That was the one where Kiana James, I think Roxanne Perez won that one.
I think she did.
But I remember everyone just praising Kiana James, and they were like, yo, she really stood out. So that's one of the things I like about these matches. You don't have to win the match. you can stand out. You can win by standing out, and then maybe that gives you enough momentum going into the following year because these shows happen in December. So I like Dion. Dion, he. I don't know. I root for him. I pretty much really root for him, and I hope that he. Um, I don't. I mean, he's in Dark State. Uh, so he's not going to have any kind of sync, and he possibly can. I feel like of all the people in Dark State, they're looking at him as the single guy. What's that? There's the one guy that you do like, and I can't think of his name. Uh, for Dark State, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Shugs is Shug, right?
yeah, but I don't go by his other name. But yes.
Okay, okay, but like I know you're a big fan of his and stuff like that. But I think those are the kind of guys like he has the personality. He's the one who has the personality of the group. But he's the guy that I don't think they're gonna put him in singles matches or anything like that. They're gonna put him in like tag teams, and they're gonna have him featured in segments where, hey, when these guys need to talk, he's gonna be the one to talk. Jeffrey put out Ren stood out last year. She did, and mind you, she was the one who was clearly getting pinned a lot. Like she was, I felt like she got pinned the most. And but the fans were cheering for her.
She wasn't Pinata.
Right. So I mean, I think he did a fair showing. I'm not gonna say it was the best or anything like that. They put it on, and Javon, there's this great story that I kind of forgot about. Where they go like last year, he ran out of time. He ran out of time, and this year he didn't. He made it, and he crossed the finish line. And do I think he's going to be the one to dethrone Oba? It's a strong possibility. Like I feel like I feel like. So, if I had to be asked this, do I think he's going to be the one? I would say, yep, I do.
I think he deserves it. He had a hell of a year, right? So we think about what he's done and how they've built him up, right? Even the whole him versus Dark State thing, right? They're building up this character for this whole entire year. Him versus Trick, him and all these other matches he had at the beginning of the year, and where he's at now. Even the match he had with Gunther, solid match, right? So when you think about it, theoretically he should beat him.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and there's a story there. They talked about the many encounters and how Oba has always like found a way to beat him. The last time they fought a match, I forget what it was. I think it was No Mercy. Oba literally threw this man through a table. So I could see it being a way where Javon does it, and I don't know. I guess I was thinking like, do you have to put the title on Javon now because he's 21? So I was like, you can wait because he's a young man, but I'm starting to lean in the way of like, yeah, I think they're gonna put the title on him. We got Dion was a bookworm, yes. We got Ren, right? Ren stood out. Jeffrey was telling me that that was his name, Shugs. We got. I have a feeling Javon should. They can't keep delaying it. They can't. I don't know. I guess in my mindset is like he's young. Like, do you have to put the title on him? Like, do you have to do it? But I guess if Javon, go ahead, please.
The only reason saying you want to strike from the iron heart. Like I'm a firm believer of that. Like you got to like the age shouldn't have nothing to do with it. Because there's some old people like well, give him the belt because he's old. No, absolutely not. No, right? So you look at Tommaso Ciampa when he won the belt. It was right. It was time. It was like man, he's going to be old. Let's give him the belt now. It's just that his character was so over that he needed to win that belt, regardless of the age. And I think where Javon is right now, regardless if he's 31, 21, or 19, I think that you strike while the iron is hot right now.
Do you think he's like when you say strike when iron is hot? I love to ask a question. Like he's such an overact that you have to do it right now.
And I'm not saying that he could turn into the other guy Jey Uso, right? Like it could come off for the snap. I don't think so. But I think when this is what I would say with wrestling, when you have somebody that's young and a person of color, how are you trying to get more people like that to come into this business? How do you do that if you don't see that person continuously winning at a brand like this, right? Oba's big and strong. We get why he's winning. But somebody that's skinny and as athletic as he is, you don't see that too much.
You know what's funny? And I mean, this man knows my family. So my oldest nephew, he's a big fan of Javon because he said like, yo, he looks like me. But I'm looking at Javon, I'm like, yo, Javon's not like this twig. Like
No,
he's not. I mean, I get that he's not the biggest dude in the world, but he's not like, you know, like I feel like he got more mass than me. So I'm for it with Javon. I'm with it. Like I like look, I've always just joked. Look, I'm close to my 40s. So when Javon talks, I'm like, I have to definitely do a Google urban search because I don't know what's being said here. But yeah, I think Javon's going to be the one. I don't know what's going on with Tony D. And that's really our review here for the um, deadline review. I want to sit here and say, Rich Kings, I appreciate you joining me on this one. I mean, this was, and he is tall. I don't know what his height is, but he is a pretty tall dude.
yeah.
But I think what makes him looks tall is because he's so lanky. So I don't
You
know
know,
how tall.
I don't want to compare it to much of sports,
Sure.
but he looks like if you were the average person, I could achieve that weight, right? You look at sports. Steph Curry isn't like this. He's not wrong. He's not big, strong, or like these superstars. He's pretty skinny and he's just shoots threes. So it just creates this belief that people think, oh, I could do that. And I think that when you put the title around him, that could just create a different type of connection with the fans. So that's all I'm saying with that piece.
No, and I think you're making some really, really great points. Fantastic points, even. But that's the show. I mean, we this was not going to be a 2-hour show, so I want to thank this guy right here. I'm sorry, do it like this. Just this guy right here because he helped out a lot here. And Rich Kings, I do want to sit here and say because we did a recording here. I would run my mouth, but I'm going to give you the floor because you're the smartest guy in the room here. I want you to talk about. We did a recording on what pay-per-view?
TNA Final Resolution, the second one.
We had to say a second one because we didn't know that there was one in January and one in December. So Javon's 6'5"? No
Damn.
fucking way. Wow. Yo, I didn't really. Wow, really? I'm sorry, that's mind blowing. Wow, he's definitely taller. I'm 5'11", so he's definitely taller than me. Wow, 5'11". I mean, 6. I'm 5'11". He's 6. Come on, knees. We're gonna have to keep going. But yes, like Rich King said, we did a review on the Big Pop Theory podcast. Please give that. Matter of fact, you got a little taste on what the Big Pop is like. I mean, we're usually joined with 2 other individuals, but it was us holding it down here. What's up? Vaughn lanky as hell. We're talking about Javon. Yeah, he is lanky. You didn't see him staring eye to eye. I mean, I did, but like I didn't think nothing of it. Like, look, look, I don't know. Like, I'm just so. Kane burned someone, and he just kept showing up to work. I know that have nothing to do with anything. I just wanted to mention that. But yes, the Big Pop Theory podcast, the YouTube video is going to be going up tomorrow. So there's not going to be an audio podcast tomorrow. So we usually like to have it around the time that we usually upload the audio. So around maybe 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we reviewed TNA Final Resolution 2008. You had the main event Mafia. And what was fun about when we did this show is one, Rich Kings. I mean, you said you watched a little bit of TNA, but if I could sit here and say you could count on your hands how many times you watched TNA, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to be sure. And he watched it. I did it. When we did a review, it was myself, Rich Kings, and one Mark Wins. I like to talk about these gentlemen because these gentlemen are my guys. And I hope that you guys tune in on the Big Pop Theory podcast and watch it because it was a fun time. We talked about that ref who used to just beat the shit out of everyone. If you guys watch TNA, you know what I'm talking about. I forget his name. It was like Song or something like that. He was fantastic. He would just fight people and then look at his hands after, like, why did I do that? It was a great time. But the highlight stuff about the Unpopular Review. There's so much content here on Unpopular Review. So let me run it down here. Let's talk about wrestling here. On Monday nights, you have. Who are these people? Nah, I'm just joking. You have Stephen William Beeman and you have Z the Silent. They talk about the Monday Night Raw review show on NXT. We were a trio, but we are no longer a trio. It is a duo. It is myself and one Sabrina Estella. Check them out. check out AEW. Venomous Venny was on that show. Apparently, he died because there was like this memorial on the show. It was a fantastic thing. It was like this 8 minute memorial. That's not a word. Memorial about him. But it's going to be Cactus Katie and the sheriff. It was an 8 minute video, bro. Like I want an 8 minute video now. Like I want it to be 10 minutes of just me yelling for no reason. But we're not gonna get that. I would ruin everyone's eardrums. And on Fridays, you got Venomous Venny and Mad Dog, and they talk about SmackDown. I think it's called the Super Show SmackDown. Please check them out right after SmackDown go off the air. And when it comes to entertainment stuff, also talking about Venomous Venny on Saturdays. I don't know who his co-host is, but him and a co-host, they talk about stuff about movies and stuff like that. So please give him a check out. And usually on the entertainment side, myself and One Cedar Superior, we talk about geek news. So check that out. We're not gonna do anything this Sunday. I feel like it's all the plugs. And Rich Kings, I know where I can find you. But I want you to tell these people watching where they can find you.
On the Big Pop Theory podcast.
That's a fun time. I wish I had some kind of video for it, but I don't. It just it wasn't. I didn't watch it live, but I watched it in the playback, and I immediately laughed. I said, "This is tremendous. I love that." And listen, I'm not being a hater. I love that for Benny. I love that he had the send off like that. It was hilarious. But the music was not necessary. And Russell Crowe, right? You know what? Real quick before we end this thing, let me right. We got to play this commercial here. I'm sorry, I'm going in all the wrong direction. So let's play a commercial here for the Russell. Where is it? Did they delete it here? Give me a second. Okay, we're gonna play this commercial real quick. So before we end the show, we're just going to sit here and say that WrestleMania tickets are pricey, and if you can go, fantastic. I'm not even hating. Like, good for you, bro. Myself and this lovely gentleman, we went to Las Vegas together, and this man brought me back to health because I got sick. But Las Vegas is a good time. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really great time. But tickets are pricey and stuff like that. But if you want to join us on Popular Review, we're gonna go on sea, and you get to see the host in real time, in real life, and see how we are in real life. And we're gonna be watching WrestleMania night 1 and 2. So if you have any conversations and want to talk to us about that, hit us up on Gmail. So that's great. But with that all said, that is the show. I want to thank this gentleman right here for helping me. I want to thank you guys for being here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification. This is Unpopular Review. We're going to be back on Tuesday, the NXT duo, myself and one Sabrina Stella. And continue to follow all things on Popular Review. I'm trying to find the graphic here, so bear with me. Bear with me. I was not prepared for everything. Okay, I actually found the graphic. Boom, that's the graphic. We're not gonna play the outro. Thank you for watching. Kalani Jordan says good night. We say good night. Be well, be safe, and we'll see you for the next show.